हाँ हाँ
ठीक है।
अंधेरा से
ठीक है, तो ये तो नहीं आ रहा। हैप्पी सर, एक मिनट स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, फिर चलते हैं। इसको आप खाली स्टार्ट कर दीजिए। एक अभी फिर लिखने क्या आ गया है, इसको स्टार्ट कर दीजिए।
लाइव है सर,
लाइव है पूरा।
हाँ।
इस पे रख दीजिए, तो इस पे यहाँ रख दिए, तो इसी के आगे स्टार्ट कर दें।
स्टार्ट
Students, today I want to teach you chapter 3, which is the pair of linear equations in two variables. इसे स्टार्ट करें क्या? दोबारा है, ठीक है। Today I want to teach you chapter 3, which is pair of linear equations. Chapter 3, pair of linear equations in two variables. First, we should understand what is a variable. A variable means the value of the alphabet is variable. It can change. To vary means to change. Suppose we take an equation x plus 1 is equal to 5. What should be the value of x here? X will be 4 here, because 4 plus 1 is 5. In this equation, the value of x will be 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. But now we take some another equation. X plus 2 is 10. This is another equation. What will be the value of x here? X will be 10. This plus 2 will become minus 2 in the right hand side, and x will become 8. So, in the first equation, the value of x is 4, but in the second equation, the value of x is 8. It means the value of x is changing. Here it is 4, here it is 8. It means the value of x or variable is changing. So, to vary means to change. Now, here you see that there are two variables. One variable is x, the other may be y. Suppose we keep an equation like this, then there will be two variables in it, x and y. Now, how to find the value of the two variables, this we shall learn in this chapter. Now, this is an equation. This is called a linear equation. Linear equation means the maximum power is 1. When the maximum power of the variables are 1, then we say that they are linear equations, and these are the linear equations in two variables. Now, how to represent these two equations on a graph paper? Suppose we take different values of x and y in an equation x plus y is equal to 5. If the value of x is 2, then what will be the value of y? The value of y will be 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. If the value of x is 1, then what should be the value of y? The value of y will be 4. 1 plus 4 is 5. There are other cases possible. Suppose you take the value of x to be 0, then what will be the value of y? The value of y will be 5. 0 plus 5 is 5. Right? So, now we can draw a table like this. A table in which we have the value of x and y here, like if we take the value of x is 0, then the value of y is 5. When the value of x is 0, then the value of y is 5. When the value of x is 1, then the value of y is 4. When the value of x is 2, then the value of y is 3. Now we can draw lines on a graph paper. How the lines will be drawn? I am drawing it here. We take a graph paper in which the horizontal axis is x-axis. We take the value of x on this horizontal axis, and the vertical axis is y-axis. This is the center, the origin. Here x is 0 and y is also 0. Now what is the first point? The first, you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are plus, and -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, etc. Here on the right hand side, this is +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, +7, and in the left hand side, this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, etc. The first point is 0, 5. It means x-axis, on x-axis the value is 0, and on y-axis, the vertical axis, the value is 5. So you take 0 and 5. This point is 0, 5. The value of x is 0 here, and the value of y is 5 here. The second point, the value of x is 1 here, and the value of y is 4 here. So the value of x is 1 here, and the value of y is 4 here. This is your second point. The third point, you find that when the value of x is 2, then the value of y is 3. When the value of x is 2, then the value of y is 3. We have got 3 points. Now we draw a straight line from these 3 points. We draw a straight line from these 3 points. So this straight line will represent this equation, linear equation. X plus y is equal to 5. Suppose we have 2 linear equations. One equation is represented by one line, and the another equation is represented by another line. So we will try to find the point of intersection, the common point. This is the common point here. Common point will lie on this line, and it will also lie on the second line. It means this common point will be answer of the first equation, and this common point will also be the answer of the second equation. So this will be the answer of the 2 equations, because common point is present in both the lines. This way we get the solution of equations in 2 variables. Now there are different varieties of equations which we shall study later. The first type of equation is like this. In the first type of, there are three conditions possible. The first condition is intersecting lines. In intersecting lines, two lines will intersect each other, and this will be the answer of the two equations. First equation is represented by this line, the second equation is represented by this line, and the point of intersection of two lines is answer of the two equations. So intersecting line is the first condition. Now you may have the second condition. In second condition, you may get parallel lines like this. When the lines are parallel, then they will not intersect at any point. When the lines are parallel, then they will not intersect at any point. So there is no point of intersection. It means there is no answer. In this second case, there will be no answer. Because point of intersection is the answer, and in the second case there is no point of intersection, the lines are parallel, so there will be no answer in the second case. The third case is coincident lines. Coincident lines. Coincident lines. In this case, the two lines lie on the same line. Suppose first line is like this. This is L1. The other line also lies on the same line. Here, you see that all the points lie on both the lines. It means the common points, every point is the common point. Every point is the point of intersection. So there are many answers. There are many points of intersections. Therefore, there are many answers. Here you have only one answer in intersecting lines. In parallel lines, you have no answer because there is no point of intersection. And in the third case, when there are coincident lines, then there are many points of intersection because the two lines cut at many places. At all places you can see. So in this case, there will be many answers. Now, how the equations will be when, suppose in intersecting cases, what will be the format of the lines? So suppose you have two equations. In one equation, you have the equation 1 is a1 x1 plus b1 y1 b1y plus c1. This is the first equation, and the second equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equal to 0. Now, in the case of intersection of lines, a1 by a2 will not be equal to b1 by b2. Since these two are different, therefore there will be only one answer. They will cut at only one point because they are different. So in intersecting lines, the format of the equation is like this: a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. And there will be only one point of intersection, and there will be only one solution or one answer. But in the second case, when they are parallel, there is no answer. It means a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2, right? And a1, and they are not equal to c1 by c2. Since a1 by a2 is not equal to c1 by c2, these two and B1 by B2 is also not equal to C1 by C2. So there will be no answer. The two lines will be different. One will have 3, the other one will have 5. So there will be no answer. Now, you see that there will be a third case in which the lines are same. The two lines overlap each other. So here there will be many answers, there will be many points of intersection, and there will be many answers, infinite answers we say. So in this case, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. So there are many answers possible in this. If we double the numerator, then the denominator also is doubled. So you can get many answers in the third case, and the format of the equation will be like this. In the first case, in the case of intersecting lines, the format of equation will be like this. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. In the second case, the format of the equation will be A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, not equal to C1 by C2. So, since they are not equal, so there will be no answer, no point of intersection. But in the third case, there are many answers because all the three are equal. So there are infinite answers, many answers. Now, we shall study how we can solve the equations by different methods. The first method, this was the graphical method. In the beginning, the method that I taught you was the graphical method of getting the solutions. But that is a bit lengthy process. You have to make the graphs, and the point where the two lines cut or intersect becomes the answer. You have to draw the graph, so that is a lengthy process. You have to make the graph, you have to find the points of the graph, then you draw the graph, and after that you get the answer. That is a lengthy process. Now, there are direct processes, easy processes, short processes to find the answer without making a graph. The three processes that are given in your book here is first substitution method, the second one is elimination method, and the third one is cross multiplication method. So, first of all, I am teaching you the substitution method. The substitution method is the first method that I am going to teach you here, right? So, ये फोन आया है वो बंद हो गया, इसको स्टार्ट कर दो।
लाइव है, चल रहा है।
Now, so ऐसे करें,
ऐसे करके ना।
Now you see Now you see that
देखिए क्या होंगे ओरिएंटेशन रिजल्ट जो जो ये देखिए क्या आ गया
और इसी प्रकार से बच्चों ध्यान देना है कि स्वर संधि के
अच्छा इधर
स्वर
हम आगे इधर
संधि
पीछे ना
के
ऐसे कैसे रखना होगा ऐसे ऊपर
इस विकार को
फिर भी आ रहा है ट्यूशन
हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं आयादी स्वर संधि
सर इनका ओरिएंटेशन का कुछ बन रहा है ऐसे कर रहे हैं तो लिख दे रहे हैं
लाइव हमको भी नहीं आता है
उनको सर टेक्निकल असिस्टेंट देना चाहिए जो जान है सब
बच्चों
It is also important to enhance the quality of technological development.
चल रहा है वैसे ही चल रहा है
The technological development is क्या?
there was a big problem in the camera. There was a big problem in the camera. Now so now the substitution method, right? The substitution method, here there was a bit problem in the camera. I am sorry about it. Now, substitution method. Suppose we have x plus y is equal to 5, right? And x plus y is equal to 5 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 14. Now we have to solve these two equations. We have to find the value of x and y. We have to find the value of x and y, the two variables. In the beginning I taught you about the graphical method. Now I am teaching you the substitution method. Here we shall take the value of x from one of the two equations. And that value of x will be substituted in the second equation. एक इक्वेशन से हम x का वैल्यू निकालेंगे और उसी वैल्यू x के उसी वैल्यू को दूसरे इक्वेशन में रख देंगे, तो उससे हमको y का वैल्यू मिल जाएगा. This is called the substitution method. We shall find the value of x from one equation, then we shall put the same value of x in the second equation, that is substitution of the value of x, and from the second equation we can get the value of y. Now you see how we are doing. In the first equation, x plus y is equal to 5, right? And the value of x will be here 5 minus y. Now this value of x will be put here in the second equation. This value will be put here in the second equation. The second equation will become putting the value of x in the second equation, we get x, the value of x is 5 minus y, you put 5 minus y here, into 2 plus 3y is equal to 14. Right? 2 into the value of x, 5 minus y plus 3y is equal to 14. Now only y is present here, so we can find the value of y here. 2 into 5 is 10, minus 2 into y is 2y, plus 3y is equal to 14. 2 into 5 is 10 and 2 into y is 2y. So 10 minus 2y plus 3y, right? Therefore 10, 3y minus 2y. 3 minus 2 is 1. Plus 1y is equal to 14. Now, if we want to find the value of y, we will have to separate y. We shall keep y on the left hand side and we shall take 10 on the right hand side. 14 minus 10 is 4. Therefore, the value of y comes as 4. And when y is 4, then x is 1. Right? X is 5 minus y. So you can write 5 minus what is y? Y is 4. You put the value of y as 4 here. Then the value of x will come to be 1. So you get value of x as 1 and value of y is 4. Value of x is 1 and value of y is 4. This you get. Now, you put 1 and 4 in the first equation, you will get 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. And when you put 1 and 4 in the second equation, 2 into 1 is 2, plus 3 into 4 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14. So this is called the substitution method, from which we can solve the two equations. We can find the value of the variables in two equations by taking the value of the variable in first equation and then putting the same in the second equation, and by this substitution we can get the value of the two variables separately. There is another method, the method of elimination. Now you see how we can solve the same equation by the method of elimination. To eliminate means to disappear. We take the value of x. Here there is 2x in the second equation. In the first equation, there is only 1x, right? So, when we multiply the first equation by 2, this will also become 2x. And then when we subtract the two equations, 2x minus 2x, 2x will be eliminated. It will disappear. Then only y will remain, and then we can easily find the value of y, right? So, we multiply the first equation by 2. 2 into x is 2x, plus 2 into y is 2y, and 2 into 5 is 10. Multiplying equation 1 by 2, right? Now, you subtract these two equations. 2x and minus 2x is 0. 3y minus 2y is y. And 14 minus 10 is 4. So, here x has been eliminated. Because we put the coefficient of x to be same, so x has been eliminated. Here also it is 2x, here also it is 2x, by multiplying it by 2. Now after subtraction, x is eliminated. So we get the value of y to be 4. This is called the method of elimination because we have eliminated one variable x, only y remains. And when we have only one variable, we can get the answer of value of that variable. Now, once you have got the value of y, you can easily get the value of y, x. Putting this value of y in equation 1, putting this value of y is equal to 4 in equation 1. So x plus y is 4, so y is 4 is equal to 5, or x is equal to 5 plus 4 is minus 4, 1. Therefore, we have got the value of x and we also got the value of y. So this is the method of elimination, because we have got the values of x and y. We have got the values of x and y by eliminating one variable, by disappearing one variable. Only the second variable remains, and we can then easily get the value of the second variable. So this is called the method of elimination. Now, there is one more method called the cross multiplication method. The cross multiplication method, in this method, we can solve two equations like this. Suppose we have the first equation like this, a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to, this is the first equation. The second, the coefficient of first variable is a1, the coefficient of second variable is b1, and the third value is constant. Now in the second equation, the coefficient of the same variable is a2. In the second equation, the coefficient of y is b2 and constant term is c2. Here it is a1, b1, c1, here it is a2, b2, c2, right? Now we have to find the value of x and y. For that, we put x here and we remove this x part, then this part remains. b1 into c2 cross multiplication minus b2 into c1. Right? b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1. Or you write like this, x is equal to b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1. b1 into c2 minus b2. After removing x, we get b1 into c2 minus b2 into c1 divided by, you remove the constant term, a1 into b2 minus a2 into b1. a1 into b2 minus b2 into a1. This will be the value of x. This is called cross multiplication method. Similarly, we can find the value of y, where the value of y will be, you remove y, c1 into a2, c1 into a2 minus, we have removed y, minus c2 into a1. And the denominator is, when you remove y, a1 into c2 minus a2 into c1. No, the denominator is same. By removing the constant term, a1 into b2 minus a2 into b1. a1 into b2 minus b2 into a1. I shall explain this method in the next class. This is a very difficult method. I shall explain this method in detail in the next class, right? But here you have learned the formula that is given in your book, and now you can solve the questions. If you can solve the questions, it's good. If you can't solve, you ask me in the next class, I shall solve it. Now, your this chapter is complete. I am giving you homework. Do exercise. Homework. Do exercise 3.1 of chapter 3. Of chapter 3. Right? So now I have taught you the topic and I have given you the homework. You try to solve the questions of this exercise. If you can solve it, is okay. If you cannot solve, then I shall explain your doubts and difficulties in the next class. That is all for today.